Hi, everyone. Today is April 2nd, and this is week 2 in review. Can you believe it? That we have made it through the second week of our online classes. I can't. Hopefully next week it will get easier for everyone and we will all be making progress together as I learn new stuff and you are learning new stuff. So it is a week in review. So we're going to go back through some of the activities that you have done this week. So I want you to turn first to, this is the day that we're doing today. And it's got two cartoons about taxes. And the first one says, well, the first one is a picture of the IRS dropping two mice into this maze. And that's how they figure out what kind of forms that we get. So I thought that was kind of cute. And then the bottom one is another one of my favorite characters, and it says, it's tax day. Of course, at my age, every day is pretty taxing. So that's pretty cute. Today is not tax day, and I actually wanted to talk to everyone about tax day is actually not even April 15th this year because of the coronavirus pandemic. They have moved tax day to July 15th. So if you haven't done your taxes, you have until July 15th to do that. And we'll talk a little bit more about that later. So this is the day that we are doing today, but I want you to flip back all the way to week 1, where, not week 1, sorry, the first day of week 2. So that would have been March 30th. And this is the suffix and prefix page. So, and I just want to say, I'm really thankful that we don't do math, because on Monday when we did this, I told you there were 5 words down here. I cannot count. Obviously, there are 8 words. So we will go over that together, and everyone be thankful that I'm your English teacher and not your math teacher. All right. So there are 2 words on here that have the ed suffix, interrupted and interested. And both of those have the id sound, interrupted and interested. So circle the ed, which is all the way down on the bottom. On the big one up here, your ed is all the way down here. So 2 of the words, interrupted and interested, end in the suffix ed. The next word that we're going to talk about is register. Register, and the ER is all the way up here. Oh, we can't even see it. I'm going to have to tilt the camera a little bit. Okay, there we go. So there's the ER for register. And then the next word is adorable, adorable. And the BLE is right there. Where did I find it? Right there. BLE. The next word is calculator. Calculator, and the OR is over on this side. OR. The next word is vacation. Vacation. And the TION is all the way up there. Vacation. That's so hard to do backwards. Vacation. Okay. The next word is certain. I am certain we can find the TAN. It's all the way down there. TAIN. And I told you on Monday that there was one word in here that I didn't, oh no, one of my things dropped, that I didn't have one of them, and that is IC. So I'm going to put the IC over here. And the suffix IC goes to your word fantastic. Fantastic. Other words could be like terrific or horrific, like horror, horrific, or terrific, which is really great. I got some other words so that you could see how the suffix IC attaches to other prefix words. Let me try it on this side. Okay. So on the first word, the root word would be acrobat. Acrobat. And so if you attach the suffix IC or ic, it's acrobatic. On the next word, the root word would be diabetes. And so if we attach the IC on that, let me get a little bit closer. If we attach the IC on that, it's diabetic. The root word on the next line is asthma. That's a hard one to say, asthma. And so if you attach the IC, it's asthmatic. The root word on the bottom line is energy. And so the suffix IC makes it energetic, to be energetic, like a child. Child is always energetic. So those are some of the suffixes. That's the additional suffix you need to put on your paper so that you can attach that fantastic and other words that are like that. We're going to review some sentences that people sent in. Remember, you can take a picture of your vocabulary sentences and send them in to me either through text or through email, either one, it doesn't matter. So let's go over those. I'm trying to very gently lift these so I don't smudge the marker. I need a big chalkboard. Okay, so one sentence for specific is there anything specific you want for dinner? I like that sentence. Anything specific you want for dinner? And then I'm going to go over the family words also. I think that's a good range right there. So some of the family words are specifics. So that would be like the plural. It's like, can you give me the specifics of the issue? Or can you give me the specifics of what happened? The next word is specifically, which would be the adverb. Like, I specifically asked you to get your room done by 4 o'clock. Okay, specifically. And then non-specific. So if specific means to be detailed and exact, what do you think non-specific is? It would be to not be exact or to not be detailed. And then down here on the bottom is the noun of specific, and it's specificity. So we put a different emphasis on the syllables than we do for these other ones. Specificity, specificity. And that's the noun of specific. Specificity is always appreciated when giving directions. It's a fancy way of saying, please be specific when you give directions. Specificity. Okay, so those are your family words for specific. Now, someone else, you may have found something different that I haven't. So go ahead and send me any more words that you found on the family words that I didn't. I'm totally cool with that. All right, the next sentence. See, these get smudged when I put them all together. I think I'm gonna have to ask my boss lady for a big dry erase board. So she identified the dog as her lost pet. So identified, the past tense of identify. Okay, good sentence. And we actually did these family words, if you remember, on Monday, March 30th. So that should be, there we go. That should be a review for you because we did those together on Monday, the 30th. All right, the next word is assume. I assume class starts at 9 a.m. I assume class starts at 9 a.m. And some of the family words for assume, there's a whole bunch of them. Over here on this side are all of the verbs. Assumes, which is he assumes, she assumes, or assumed, which is past tense. Assuming, I am assuming everyone in class is listening to me right now. Okay, I am assuming. All right, over here are some other words, assumable, like almost like possible. It is assumable that everyone in class is listening to me right now. It's assumable. Okay. Ooh, I totally messed it up. Over here is assumably. She is assumably talking to everyone in her class right now. Here's the past tense. I totally messed it up. No, I didn't. Sorry. It's so hard to see these different backwards. Assumably, I guess she, and then assumption, which is the noun. She is making the assumption that everyone is listening to her class right now. All right. The next sentence that we're going to do goes for the word imply. And I lost my gold star. I didn't bring them from work, but this gets my gold star for the week. The news report seemed to imply his death wasn't an accident. Mysterious. The news report seemed to imply his death wasn't an accident. Good sentence, gold star for the week. All right, here are, I couldn't find very many for imply. So over here we have implied, which is the past tense of imply. And then implies, he implies or she implies. And then over there, implying, they are implying that the death was not an accident. And then implication, which is the noun. There are implications for everything we do. Okay. If you have more, send them in to me, please. The next vocabulary word, sufficient. She had sufficient time to do her homework. She had sufficient time to do her homework. And it's kind of a mouthful, kind of a word, isn't it? So sufficient means you have enough of whatever it is that you're doing. I'm hoping that you have sufficient time with your family now, or I'm hoping that you have sufficient money during this time, okay? So some other family words, an adverb, sufficiently. He sufficiently put all the parts together very quickly, okay? Insufficient would mean it's not enough. Insufficient, you don't have enough. And then sufficiency, he operates with sufficiency in his job. And then sufficient, he has a great deal of sufficiency in his work. That's not a great sentence. Sufficient, I can't think of one, but you guys can send me another one if you can. Okay, the next vocabulary word is math. The math problem was complex. The math problem was complex. So here are some of the family words that I found for complex. Complexly, which would be the adverb. The computer system operated complexly and very quickly. Non-complex would be like, it isn't complex. It is not complex. And then complexity is a noun. The computer system has right now, long distance learning has complexity that I don't understand, but I'm working on it. And then complexness, which I don't really like that word, but it is a word. Okay, so that's it for vocabulary sentences and for the family words. Let me check and make sure that I'm not missing anything. All right, so now we're going to go to April 2nd. Okay. With the text, cartoons. On the next page, you'll see that there are no ads for today either. On the next page, we have our one, so today it really is just one page. Our yes, no, and why activity. And remember that there are no right or wrong answers. You can answer this however you want. You can say, yes, I agree with that because of this and this. Or no, I don't agree with that because of this and this. But I just want complete sentences supporting your yes or no. So I went down to number 3. It says, does being vegetarian, a vegetarian is someone who doesn't eat meat at all. They just eat no meat, dairy, eggs, cheese, veggies, grains. Does being a vegetarian imply that a person is healthier than a meat eater? And I said no. And I've got an example. So here's some peanut butter Captain Crunch. And there is absolutely no meat in this peanut butter Captain Crunch. Okay, no meat at all. So my sentence is no. Peanut butter crunch has no meat in it, comma, but eating too much of it is not healthy, right? So I thought that was a good one. So just remember, answer yes, no, and then give me your why. Please use correct punctuation, commas, capitalization, periods. Make sure you have a subject and a verb. Okay, on the next page, we're going to look at your smooth reading. Remember to practice speaking out loud your smooth reading on the other smooth reading videos. So on this one, you are supposed to underline all the words that you find that end in the suffix S, and then all the words you find that end in the suffix Y that sounds like E, like baby, happy, busy. Okay, so after I did that, there was a whole bunch of S's. I underlined all of the S's in blue, and there were 20 of them. And the Y suffixes that ended in the sound E, so, like there are words like always and they and try, that doesn't have the E-Y sound that I want. So just the ones that end in E sound, there were only 5 of those. So there's 5 Y's and 20 S's, all right? So I wanted to go over that because on the S's, there are 2 different kinds of S's that we can look at. Most of them are regular past tense verb, like she needs to pick up income tax forms. She wants to get her tax return early. She works at National Beef. Those are all regular tense verbs. I didn't say past tense, did I? Those are all regular present tense verbs, okay? Especially with she, and this is all about a she, one. So all of those would be S. But then there were also quite a few words in here that ended in the suffix S that were nouns, that were plural nouns of single words. So I put some up for you to sort of like give you the rule of how to look at these words. Some of them will not just end in plain S. On these words that have the words that end in CH, like peach or couch, you would have to add an ES. Words that end in SH, like wish, you have to add an ES. Words that end in S, like buses, you have to add an ES. Words that end in double S's, like glass, you have to add an ES. Words that end in X, like box or tax, you have to add an ES. And then words that end in Z, like quiz, you have to add an ES. So I'm going to pause that and add the ES to all of those. All right, so I added the ES to all of those. And so that would be peaches, wishes, buses, glasses, boxes, and quizzes. Because it would be really hard to say those words without some in the middle of it. Peach, wish, bus, tax. I mean, you cannot physically pronounce that sound in your mouth. So therefore you have to add the ES instead of just an S. So just remember those, the CH, SH, S, double S, X, and Z, because there's a whole bunch of times in your reading today that says taxes. Okay, so now let's look at your smooth reading. You practiced your smooth reading from the other video. So we have to ask our two questions. Not enough room. Sorry about that, that's probably wrong. So to get the main idea in your reading, who or what is this mostly about? You can say it's about one, but really it's also about the taxes too, isn't it? So I said that it was about Juan's taxes. Juan's taxes. And then the second question, when we're trying to get the main idea, is what is the most important thing about this article? It's not a picture. What is the most important thing about this article? So I'm going to show you what I did because I changed my mind. At first, I put down Juan completes her tax return before April 15th. Okay. And that's fine. That's just one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight words, which is fine. But then really and truly, I looked at it a little bit later and I decided I don't really need this whole before April 15th. What happens if we just say Juan completes her tax returns? Is that the main idea? Yeah. So that's Juan completes her tax returns. Just 5 words, and that will give you the main idea. All right, so we're going to go over this organizer together. Today it is another sequence. Like Tuesdays, the building, painting his house was a sequence. So remember, sequences are usually easy to find in your reading because it will say things like first, second, third, or next, and then, finally, last. Sometimes it's really helpful if you can just look through and find sentences that start with those words. Odds are you can organize your article in sequence. So it doesn't necessarily 100% apply exactly to these 4 categories. So, but let's look at it by paragraph. So in the first paragraph, the second paragraph, Juan gets her tax form at the library, and then Juan gets her W-2 form in the mail. That was the first step. That's the first step that you need to do your taxes. Next, Juan reads and follows directions. Third, or you can also say then, she prints her name, address, and social security number, and she completes the rest of the form. That's what she did next. And then Juan was really happy because she was getting a tax refund. So then, or finally, Juan is getting a refund. Okay, so I hope you're trying to use your organizers. It's just to help you come up with clear ideas for each paragraph. All right, now I wanted to say a little something before I forget it. Let me make sure this is where I'm doing it. Tax returns this year are a little bit different, or I just wanted to make sure that everyone was aware that if you have already filed tax returns, then you should be getting stimulus money from the stimulus packets that Congress and the president approved. So if you've already done your tax returns and you had a direct deposit into your checking account, you'll be getting that, I don't know when, 3 weeks from now maybe. If you haven't done your tax returns, you need to do your tax returns so that they will know where to mail the check. So your choice, but I just wanted to make sure that you were aware of if you have already filed your tax returns, then you'll be getting the stimulus check. All right, next, I'm just making sure that I don't forget anything. Okay, the next one is we have, I thought, a really fun project from Ventures. I love this kind of project because it can kind of, you can sort of like daydream about what you would like to improve at your house and what you would like to do if you had enough money or if you don't have enough money. So on the first page, it's basically you have to make decisions on these questions based on the amount of money that they have allotted, that they have written down that can be used for those types of repairs. Okay. At the bottom, I really think this would be a fun project for the whole family, is sit down with your family and talk about what kind of repairs or problems do you sometimes have. And then can you repair things in your home? Do you have a friend or family member who can repair things? But let's not have friends into the house right now during this social distancing time. And then what does that person help you with? So I thought that's kind of like a little fun family project. And the next page is I thought was really fun. It's an activity to help you learn how to use the word let's or let us. Like, let's go to the grocery store, or let's get that done before we have to leave. Let's do that. So it's just let us. And there are all sorts of suggestions. You're working in a family group, not in a class group, obviously. But you have, I think it is $3,000. No, just 2,000. I don't know when this was written, but you know, maybe it would take about 3,000 now or 5,000, who knows? But you have $2,000 and you have to decide how you're going to spend your money. Like you can buy a new refrigerator and that's $950, or you can make a decision just to have the refrigerator repaired, which is only $300. But you get to decide how you're going to spend your $2,000. And I really think that your kids would enjoy that. So, but what I want you to do is let's buy 2 cans of paint, or let's not buy 2 cans of paint. Instead, let's buy a new table. You can still practice speaking out different sentences on let's buy this or let's repair this. And then your partner would say, no, let's not repair the refrigerator. Let's buy a new refrigerator. So it could just be fun to talk together as a family on how would you spend that $2,000. And if you don't have a family member at home, then call one of your classmates over the phone and see what they would think. And then the next one, I totally want you to do, but we're going to change it a little bit. It says work in a group and think of ways to improve your classroom. And the suggestions they had was, let's bring more books in English for more people to read. And then let's get some free magazines. So we can't do that right now. But what do you suggest for making this online classroom better? I can tell you that my 100% what I'm going to do next time when we mail out packets for the last month is I'm going to number every single one of these pages sequentially, in sequence. Number 1, number 2, number 3, because what I did is I numbered the vocabulary pages, but nothing else. And hopefully it's not too confusing because each cartoon starts a new day. But my suggestion for our online classroom is that I number these pages 1, 2, 3, 4, up through 100, however long it takes to get through that. So I do want to hear from you. You can text me or email me, or next week when we have our online Zoom meeting, we're going to talk together on ways we can improve our online classroom, okay? I really want to hear from you. You guys are the ones who are experiencing it, so I think we can find ways to improve it together. Now, I am going to pause this for just a second so that I can show some people on how to access the YouTube channel, because I want everyone, all the students, to subscribe to the Coleman Intermediate ESL channel. And then I also want you to put comments down there. So I'm going to pause it so I can get that set up. All right, here we go. So the first thing that you need to do is you need to go to Google, and then type in YouTube. And then go to YouTube. And then up here where it says search, that is so unclear. I don't know how to do that though. Type in Colvin Intermediate ESL. Okay, I misspelled that. Colvin Intermediate ESL. All right, now you see this little Colvin Intermediate ESL with the little circle with the clouds and the golden wheat, which is a really pretty picture. Thank you, Bill. And it says there are 22 subscribers and 10 videos. If you go over here to this big subscribe button and push it, you can become a subscriber. You just have to enter either your email or your phone number. Back that up. Email or phone number. Okay. And then after you've created an account, it will automatically tell you when a new video is up. So for example, here is yesterday's video from April 1st or April Fool's Day. The nice thing about, oops, let me stop that. Very good to hear from everyone. The nice thing, and what I want you to do, is that if you subscribe and you sign in, you can add comments down here. Like, dislike, whichever. But I can't tell that if you are not subscribed. So right now we have 22 people, which means there are about 45 people who still need to subscribe. If you need help with this, I don't know, talk to a 14-year-old or a 10-year-old and they can help you. I had to have my son help me with it. So talk to a younger person and they can help you, or maybe someone from class can help you over the phone. Okay, I would love for everyone to do that for me, please. Okay, I think, did I start that? Yes, I did. Recording, yes. Okay, that was probably a little bit hard for you to see. There's a way in Zoom where you can share stuff, but I haven't got it figured out, but I will get it figured out. So I'll be working on my technology. All of y'all work on y'all's technology of learning how to subscribe to the YouTube video. And you don't have to do it through a computer. You can Google it through your cell phone. So that's it for week 2. Everybody have a really great weekend, and I will see you next Monday.